Okay, hey, welcome everybody to Sunday Night Live. Sunday Night Live, we're going to be talking about the Wall Street Reporter's fast lane strategy, the next super stock strategy, turning 10K into 1 million. I know what the slide says 10 million. It's an older slide, and that was in 3 trades, 30 months. We did a little survey on Twitter, and people kind of like the idea of with 10K into 1 million, 18 months, because we actually did show in the last live stream how it could actually be done. And in theory, I'm sure people have used that strategy. So we're going to get into that. We're going to be actually talking about Mr. Dotto. Welcome. Sean, welcome. By the way, we're going to have special guests. We're going to have special guests coming up, surprise guests. So we're going to be talking about actually the main topic for tonight is going to be really the chart talk. I'm going to be talking about CBDT, that's Empower Clinics, Fans Unite, FANS, PKK, Peak, Logic, Doc, and ICANN. We've got some really interesting charts. I think the idea for tonight is going to be really, because a couple of these stocks are really getting ready to take off. Okay, so let's kind of talk real quick. I'm going to just do a real quick summary of what this is all about. Anybody that's new, okay. The idea is we're gonna take $10K, $10,000, turn it into I have here whatever, but let's just say we're going to turn into 1 million in 2 trades. Okay, so we're going to take 10K, turn it into 100 grand with one 10 bagger, and then that 10 we're going to parlay that 100K into 1 million. Generally speaking, based on what we've had here, it could be done in probably 18 months. Anybody that last year started off with with Cytodyne, for example, that stock was 50 cents. This time last year, it went to $10 just this past July, and then you could have rolled that money into cloud. So you would have easily had you'd have had 10x plus 5x, so you'd have done 20x plus 5x, you would have done very well. So okay, so here's what we're doing. Okay, we're looking to play for big stakes. We're looking to any of these stocks that we're going to be talking about. They got to have at least 10x to 100x upside potential. We're not looking for companies that are going to be doubles, triples, none of that stuff. Okay, we're looking for minimum 10x to 100x, because that's what you gotta. You gotta go for those kind of big wins in order to make money in the micro cap game. Okay, we're looking for an immediate runway when we bring a company onto a platform where there's going to be a 3x to 5x upside within let's call it 6 months. At least, maybe quicker. But generally, these 10 baggers usually takes about 10 months. What we've seen in the past takes about that long to get there. And again, these companies, here's what they all have in common. They're going after big multi-billion-dollar market opportunities. There are key inflection points and multiple catalysts in place for transformational value creation, a CEO that gets it when it comes to maximizing shareholder value, and they're undervalued compared to the peer group, the comps. There's a margin of safety. They're riding big change waves, and again, so we're going after that kind of exponential return, that kind of that fat tail, not the normal distribution. We're going for that massive win, and where the odds are stacked in your favor. Okay, so let me kind of, and by the way, anybody that you want to get more details, check out one of our previous live streams. I go into kind of all the details of how these things work. But I want to kind of right now get into, I'm going to get into some charts right now, because that's kind of really what this is about. So give me 1 second. I'm going to bring on one of our special guest number 1. Are you there?
Who's that?
Okay, Paul, hang on 1 second. Let me I'm just okay, so let me do one thing here. Share screen. Okay, application window, Chrome tab, fans. Okay. Hey, where's our other special guest?
Where'd he go? Where's Hammy? Hammy!
Hang on a sec. He disappeared. Oh, okay. I think.
There's our guest.
Hey, Paul, hang on one second. I gotta send him an email here because it looks like he. I think. I think he. I think he clicked out. Give me 1 second.
All right, brother.
Hang on.
How's everyone doing out there?
Yeah, keep him entertained for a second.
What's up? Paul's Picks 2020.
Okay. Okay, Hemi, I just sent you the link. Hemi, oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, so.
Yeah. How do y'all like the camera? It's a bit better, huh?
Hemi.
Yeah. Yo.
Okay, here we go.
There he is.
My internet went down. I had to.
We got the two future Order of Canada winners.
Yeah. If only.
So here we go. Okay, all right, guys. So basically, I'm going to kind of start talking about, and you guys, jump in. Any comments? So let's look at a couple of stocks, which I think right now are primed because look, we have several stocks are already moving. They're up, let's say 300, 500%. So, and they're probably like, for example, CloudMD. I think CloudMD can probably triple from here. Peak easily can triple from here. But if anybody kind of wants to get in on that kind of ground floor right as these things are taking off, where you can get that 10 bagger, I think those are going to be Fans Unite, and also CBDT. So it's Empower. Those are kind of really taking off. And what we saw on Friday was with Fans. Check out this chart. I mean, everything really, and forget about the fundamentals. And maybe I'll ask Hammy, because I know Hammy has been talking to the company, and anybody can also check out the videos we've had with the live streams. You'll get all the details. But what I find interesting is the fundamentals here. I mean, this thing is really just broke out of a trading range here. We started with these guys back, I think, September 1st. There's actually some selling coming in. I mean, there was like every time the stock would sort of start moving, there was some selling coming in. I think might have been a previous investor from Ascot or something. But anyway, it looks to me like they're out. Check out this. You look at the stock in the last week, it's been moving up on volume. So the big days, the big volume has been coming in. The stock has been going up. Friday, it took off. What did it close at? 30 cents. Hang on, I can't see my chart is, let me do a close up here. Okay, so so it 34 cents. It sold off a little bit. So, I mean, this thing looks fantastic. Here we go. Here's the weekly chart. Just also to give you an idea. So the weekly also, I mean, this thing to me looks like it could, it could really take off. I think this thing could probably, I mean, I think this thing next stop could be 50, 60 cents on this. Once it breaks out of 55 cents, it's 75 cents. And then, it'll go from there. I mean, this thing really has got some tremendous fundamentals. I'll ask Hammy. Hammy, what's your take on Fans right now? You spoke to Darius.
Yeah, I talked to Darius on Friday, and he's super confident that a lot of the deals that they're working on are going to come to fruition. The Ontario legalizing iGaming and all that stuff, and moving forward, it's going to be huge for them. And I just think in general, like the whole gambling industry, with people having to stay home and stuff like that, gambling on esports. Like I didn't realize that, I think it was like they're expecting 395 million people to watch esports next year. I think that was the report. I mean, it's massive. It's so many people, and like the esports gambling just kind of taking form, right? So when they have the technology to advance, all these other gambling platforms to utilize esports gambling. So, I definitely think based on the chart, it's going to work its way back up to where it was trading back in the summer. And then from there, who knows, like I'm super confident, like they have the people working with them that can definitely drive this thing. And once they get going, the scale on gambling itself, like you've seen with DraftKings is crazy. So
Paul's picks. Did you get into? Are you into Fans?
Yeah, definitely. It's great. My boys, my family there, they tell me have a look at at it, and you know what? I couldn't believe it. I actually I did some deep digging, some DD, and wow, I was actually astounded because I love my listen. I'm a betting guy myself, and you know,
That's interesting.
I've
Yeah, 'cause
always
yeah, you could tell from the fundamental side. Like actually, I mean, you're into sports betting, right?
yeah. Listen, I'm very bullish on all them plays, you know, and it starts, you know, back when we talk about Penn, DraftKings, and all that, and then fans comes up, and it's for me it's a no-brainer. It's so undervalued, and like Hammy was saying, the industry is just opening up, man. The governments are going to be looking to legalize everywhere. They're going to need money. They're just you know, giving subsidizing everything. So that's just a fact, right? It's like legalization of the MJ, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Same
No,
thing. Same thing.
but here's what's interesting. So you know, everybody's talking right now about the sports betting, the esports betting, but where these guys really are making their money, this is going to be like kind of like the inflection point. If you guys check out the live streams we had with Darius was about 2 weeks ago, and with Scott earlier, is they're doing these iGaming, the iGaming product, so the kind of games, the casino.
Mhm.
So basically, that's where these guys. That's where these guys have big margins, and they're basically going to be licensing out these games to, you know, aggregators, who each aggregator puts out, you know, they distribute to, you know, maybe 100 different online casinos, and so they're going to be going to multiple aggregators, and they're going to be going from 3 games to, they're saying 12 games, 10 games in the next 12 months. So each game basically can generate about 500 grand in revenues per online casino. You know, I mean, maybe some will be less, some more, but so the numbers could really explode. So that company is really at that kind of inflection point, and the stock is well. Here's the thing: the stock is starting to move now. So that's kind of the main thing. It's, if you look at it, I mean, it just broke out of that moving average. I mean, everything is really set up there. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, we got Mr. Dotto. Yeah, I think they're in a great position fundamentally. Everything is great right now. I mean, they just came out with the news about that. You know, their McBookie casino that's getting tremendous. You know, the revenues are exploding there, like up 5x. They got the games coming out, so yeah, things are going great. Let's take a look at let's do CBDT, because this one really is okay. So this one, I think this is interesting stock. This appeals to, you know, a lot of guys like those penny stocks. Who likes penny stocks here? A lot of people like penny stocks. Okay. So this is a nickel stock, and it's Canadian,
We
right?
like it.
7 cents. What's that, Paul?
When they boom, we like them.
Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Look, the stock
They're
is
black.
it's 7 cents Canadian. It's about a nickel US. EPWCF is the symbol, right? And this thing could really pop. I could talk about the fundamentals. I mean, you guys really check out the live stream earlier this week that was with the CEO. He really explains what's happening. But look at this chart here. You got the moving average that crossed over earlier. You got kind of this. I don't know, whatever. Yeah, I'm doing charts for so many years. I forgot what this thing is called, but it looks like it's taking off right here. So we're gonna see this thing start to go. Let's go to the weekly here. Wow, this looks good. You guys like charts, Paul, Hammy?
Yeah, I like I dabble in them. I try and watch them as much as I can, but it's hard with these ones sometimes because a lot of it's generated from news. And I think last week I even mentioned CBDT was until that they announced the closing of the deal, it was probably going to be held down. And we saw as soon as that deal ended, like the volume picked up, and then it started to creep up and ended at about Canadian 7.5 cents. But yeah, I definitely think, you know, any news this week showing any type of growth or, you know, deals, it should be able to move up even more. So I really like this one for this week. And they just had an interview too. I guess I don't have my notes up because my internet died, but I guess they have a deal in Arizona for testing with their labs, so they're rapidly expanding their labs. So that's another thing to watch out for because they can make a lot of money with their labs and the testing that they have. And I guess there was some concern about the FDA approvals, but they're actually operating under an FDA COVID guideline right now. So I don't think that's too much of a concern in terms of their COVID testing at this moment.
Paul, are you into charts or no?
Yeah, man. I like my charts.
Okay, because I mean, I mean, I've been doing technical analysis since like I got like 30 years, since I got into futures. So because I look the charts, my philosophy is charts don't lie. I mean, you see the price action, everything is reflected really in the chart, and if you look at this chart right here, to me it looks like this thing could go to 15, 25 cents very, very easily. So, and the fundamentals obviously are good, but the chart action kind of tells you that this thing is about to take off, in my opinion. Hang on a second. Let me throw up some disclaimers here so that we don't get sued. Hemi, Mr. Dodd was asking, do you think CBDT will benefit from the eventual reopenings with events needing COVID tests? I mean, the COVID thing is not really there. I mean, that's so small. I think it's not going to be their main business. That's kind of like a temporary,
Well, I definitely think with their partnership with Loop Insights and the travel bubble, we're gonna definitely need to do some form of rapid testing and contact tracing. So I think that's kind of like could be their gravy here for the next little while. Like to get back, just to be able to travel again. I think we're gonna have to institute some kind of rapid testing, and even for sports and venues and whatnot. So yeah, it probably doesn't affect them when we reopen at all, because that's kind of what's going to drive that kind of testing, I think.
But the long-term story though is the kind of the roll-ups of the clinics and all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And even with the labs, like with telemedicine, people are kind of monitoring and keeping track of their health even more than before. So like the strain on the labs just from regular testing seems to have picked up. Like I can't even go to Life Labs anymore without having to wait 2 hours or make an appointment. So I think it could be just because of all the procedures, but I also know a lot of people are actually watching their health more, including myself. Because before, like I saw my doctor maybe once a year before telemedicine started to boom. Now I've seen her like once a week.
Okay. Hey, so let's go to Paul, are you what are your thoughts on CBDT?
Well, listen, to me, testing is not going anywhere, right? I know there's vaccine talk. Seems like every week there's a new vaccine, but listen, the testing is gonna get us out of everything, and let's look at that long term, and then obviously diversifying, which this company will do, makes me bullish, right?
Okay. Hey, okay, let's take a look. Let's talk about Peak, because this is where a lot of action is right now. I think this stock, it's been consolidating right now for the last week or so. Here we got the weekly chart. Okay, now we kind of know what the fundamentals are. They got all the great news happening and all that stuff. They got the China fintech market. But for me right now, this stock, I mean, I think we're going to see a breakout. Like it could be any day, and we could see a new high. I think again, we could see $354 early January. So we got this kind of triangle happening right over here. And if it breaks out, it could be, straight up. Let's see what happens. This week. I think Peak, hang on a second. Let's see if we got any comments here.
Peak's a monster.
Yeah, Peak, container guys, massive deals, many more to come. Yeah, so they got some, interesting things happening. If you saw the news on what is it, earlier this week, where they said that they're getting some sales from that deal that they have with that what is it, CBD, whatever, the
BDC.
BDC. So that's actually, and that kind of gave an indication. Hammy, you got the details on that you want to share? Because I don't have the thing in front of me. It's like,
it's just they kind of started already with the BDC deal. Like they weren't expecting to start this early, but there's been such a big demand, I guess. So I mean that's huge, and and even last week, all the news that they pushed out last week was amazing. Like they had a Zacks report come out with a 380 USD price target. They had another article come out comparing them to Ant.
Zacks is actually pretty conservative. So I was surprised that they
it's a very conservative.
It's sponsored research, okay, but still, I mean, they don't just put out crazy numbers. I mean, you know,
No.
they're relatively conservative, so they're doing you know, that kind of number. It's pretty good.
Yeah, for sure.
When we saw the Zacks report come out, that just pretty much cemented the you know, the company. Like you said, they're usually conservative, and they came out with a $4 target. It's
Was it 380, right? 380 Hemi, is it 380?
Yeah, I believe it's 380.
US American money.
US, yeah.
And what else they got? Yeah, so they got some great things happening. We're gonna see kind of, I think. Oh, by the way, so Peak is gonna be doing a live stream this Thursday. So I think the link is up on our site. Next Superstock live stream. So it's gonna be Peak, and we're gonna have fans. It's gonna be fans and Peak, same live stream. So starting at 12:30, yeah, Eastern time, and you know, it'll be pretty good, because I think we might see some interesting developments from both companies. What is that? $5 Canadian is that 380 US? That sounds about right. Yeah? 5 Canadian. So that's their target. Hang on a second. 40 million revenue too. Yeah. So basically they're doing what? They're doing a 40 million run rate. With these things, I mean, it could explode. I think Peak, did Peak do? I think they were doing an interview. Did they do something with Sheldon tonight, or is it the came out? How was
they
it?
did. I didn't get a chance to watch because it was released literally 15 minutes before we started. So
okay. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, it's yeah. Why don't they just? I think they did the thing with Sheldon last Friday. They should just put it out Friday. I don't know why they didn't do that. But here's my thing, you know, like, you know, I think with Sheldon, right, like, this guy, say what you will, but the guy, you know, he's not stupid. I mean, you know, if Sheldon gets into the stock, it has a good chance that it's going to move. And also Peak also had another report that came out about 2 months ago from, was it E-Research, which is actually pretty good. I think they had a $2 target, and that was back in September, August. I mean, this thing has got a lot of legs. I mean, once this thing breaks out, we're gonna really see it running. So I think right now is kind of the time where if somebody wants to get positioned, they like the story, you kind of want to watch the breakout over here. It's going to happen right around here. Any moment.
Yeah. Well, I think any big news this week, and it's going to go.
Yeah, the consolidation was very healthy last week, and you like to see that. You know, I was a little bit worried. I think we were talking about that last week. We said that we don't want it to run too much, and actually it was a good thing. It pulled back a little, so gave people a chance to catch up. But this could be the week, and they're on with you Thursday.
They're going to be on. Okay, so Peak and Fans is scheduled for Thursday. Yeah, 12:30 Eastern time. And I mean, that they're on the schedule. I mean, there might be a change. You know, sometimes these things, but right now they're on the schedule. So we'll confirm. You know, by Tuesday. We'll confirm by Tuesday. But yeah, right now they're both on. So you know, I'm expecting some interesting things in the next couple of weeks with both companies. Yeah, so definitely. Yeah, I don't like to see these stocks kind of like overheating when they go parabolic. That's not healthy. And so I'm kind of glad that Peak is kind of like, you know, it's doing this kind of triangle. You know, you got this little pennant consolidation, and from here, you know, I think it could bounce, you know, $3 plus pretty easily. Is going to be kind of the next stop. Let's see here. Okay, we got a question here. Telemedicine. Who's going to acquire me? Could it be CloudMD? You guys have any thought? I don't know anything about this. You guys know about this? Thoughts on this?
Yeah, I don't know if Maple would get. It would probably have to be a bigger company. I would think. I don't know. It's a tough one. I mean, it's good. The market for telemed will probably consolidate, but I don't know. CloudMD seems to be moving along, doing their thing. I don't know if they need Maple necessarily.
Yeah, no, okay. So what I think is I think there's definitely going to be some action with cloud. Let's go to the cloud chart. Actually, let's go to the cloud chart, because that's kind of one of our big winners here. And let's go cloud. Oh no, I'm gonna use the US because the Canadian one is not like shown correctly. Wait, how do I close this out? Okay, doc RF. Okay. Okay, here we go. Okay, so check this out. Okay, so to me, this looks like the chart is it's kind of bouncing off that moving average, off that support. What are we at? About $2 right now. US. So this is the US chart. This one is a little bit easier. We see the volume is here. It looks to me it's pretty good as long as this thing holds in this area here. We don't want to see it dropping below, let's say, $1.70. As long as it stays up above $1.80 US, $1.90 US, I think we're in very good shape. And the fundamentals look good. The charts look good. It is doing like a little bit of a pullback here. So I kind of wouldn't be surprised if it kind of bounces around here. And what happens a lot of times is, a lot of people, they kind of get, they get faked out by some of these wild moves in these stocks. And, it could drop like $1.70 like a day, and people just, everybody kind of panics, and then it starts to going back. So let's see.
Can't panic. Can't ever panic, man. You believe in something, gotta stay true, right? It's cloud's a beast.
Yeah. No, okay. So I mean, I think, listen, cloud's got a lot of legs. And really, I think this thing is really kind of like maybe in the second inning. I mean, it's probably 25% of the way where where this could go. Yeah, I mean, okay, so here's what the great thing about the cloud is. Look, I mean, it fits everything that we talked about, the kind of the criteria for those super stocks. I mean, the sector, Yazin is on the money. Look, the telemedicine sector is just getting warmed up right now. I mean, like, whatever you saw with T-Doc and all those other guys, it's just starting. And these guys, they're getting into the enterprise side now, which could be, the enterprise side really is going to be probably the next big wave of growth for them. They have tremendous runway. What I really like about cloud, which they have, which our other stocks don't have yet, is they really have institutional sponsorship. So there's really institutional money coming into the stocks. There's a lot of major investors, institutions who are committed. They got money tied up in this, and this company's raising money also to do acquisitions. So there's a lot of people who want to see this thing succeed, which is always good. So you got a lot of tailwinds here. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. So Doc is I think this is gonna be good play for the next, let's call it, at least, I mean, it could be the next year. I think this, maybe we'll see $5 by March. I mean, if it breaks out of here, $5 Canadian, $4.50 at least.
Yeah, I still really like Doc. Those enterprise deals are massive. Like, just look at how much Livongo blew up from all their enterprise deals, and then eventually got bought by T-Doc, right? So that kind of stuff can just balloon fast, right? So just keep an eye on that kind of stuff. And we saw it bounce off the vaccine news, so there's really no reason for the massive sell-off other than people thinking that that we're coming back to life like next week.
Cracks me up. It's like Hami said, the news, sometimes it's insane. Some of the trades sellers make, whether they panic sell or a panic buy and a FOMO. It's you got to look at the sector, and I see some messages up there saying, the sector's here to stay. Let's be honest, man. It's COVID, the world forever. So it's like Zoom and whatnot. So it's here to stay.
What's interesting is this thing with the vaccine. When that news came out, I mean, I think people kind of think that teledoc. I mean, it is telemedicine is a big part of it, but this thing really goes way beyond. I mean, if you look at their whole business, everything, it goes way beyond telemedicine. I mean, they got the clinics, they got the back end, the software. It's kind of I would call maybe like a next generation healthcare company where telemedicine is just that's part of what they have, and obviously it's a big part. But this thing could be a huge winner. I don't know. What do you guys think? When will cloud be $5? Paul, Hammy?
Yeah, I could see early into next year. I think we'll get a little bit of a run into Q3 earnings, and then maybe a little bit of consolidation, and then it really depends what kind of deals they make in the short term here with all the cash that they have. And if they can land some big enterprise clients, but I don't necessarily see that till like kind of into 2021. But I definitely feel it will hit $5 in the not too distant future. I said I'd buy it at 290. I still would. I'd buy it here. I bought some last week when it dipped. Like it's a no brainer for me. Like it's the future of healthcare. It's just the way it's going to be.
Paul, are you into Doc?
Absolutely, it's in my vault, man.
The vault.
I said there's certain stocks. I did a recap actually a few days ago of stocks I don't trade. Certain stocks I trade, some I don't, and that's one I don't because I believe in a sector, right? I always say, you believe in a sector, you don't touch it. Like fintech. Fintech is just getting started. We've touched maybe 10% of the peak there, and the same thing with Doc. I mean, look, maybe there'll be a pullback, which there was. We've established a base. I think the base is in, man. I think it won't break this resistance. I don't think. Nowhere to go but up. And let people sell off on the news saying vaccine, but this is here to stay, man. The revenue is going to, and once they prove the revenue after all this vaccine talk, it'll just get itself easily to $5, I think.
Yeah, no, they got plenty of cash, and this thing is really just also the company is just now starting to get kind of the more viral kind of like there's more retail investors talking about this, so it's just kind of starting right now. But I think and I think we kind of did see from that peak, some people did kind of get shaken out. There's probably a lot of retail kind of new investors in the stock, and they're gonna those guys could panic, and that's what happens. I mean, this thing could it could drop 20% from here, no problem. Why not? And then build a base, go back. Look, I mean, what's great about it is, look, the markets are always unpredictable. Just when you just when we're going to say, okay, hey, this is what's going to happen, it usually goes the opposite, because that's the whole idea. The idea is it's designed to to keep you humble. But hey, Paul, so here's the thing. So you do the vault. So your concept was the vault. Our thing with the fast lane strategy.
I know.
It's not buy and hold. It's not buy and hold. Listen, you can make money both ways, because look, the big money a lot of times is if somebody gets that one winner and that thing goes to 100x. But so the concept here, which I kind of went off topic with these charts, is we're going to be doing this fast lane strategy with a 10 grand to 1 million, 18 months, or whatever the number is. You might start with 50 grand, whatever the number is that you can just, but that's the idea. The idea basically is you can go, it's 100x, right? You're going to make 100x your money in 18 months. So you're going to go from 10 grand to 100 grand, 100 grand to 1 million using two 10 baggers. So we need to have really 2 10 baggers in a row to get that win. So the question is, what are those 10 baggers, which are going to be the parlay? Paul, you're a sports betting guy, so you understand the parlay strategy.
Buddy, and you know what? I had a good day today. It was those NFL picks were on fire. But all joking aside, I get the strategy, and it's exactly what I preach is, you have 2 segments where there's the one segment where you're flipping around, day trading, swing trading, and then there's other stuff where you just put it away, right? So obviously when it's time, we mentioned last week when we said you set yourself a goal and you trim, right? The 70-30, remember that? Trim,
Yeah.
and then you keep going. So Doc is definitely in there. Fans, again, thank you to those open my eyes to that. I love it. And there's many more. Peak, obviously. There's the IPs. You covered them all, man.
Hey guys, check out. I want to kind of. This is. I know like a lot of Canadians are not buying OTC stocks. This is one of our again, one of our next super stocks here. There's a stock which I think could be a 10 bagger from here. Or actually, no, it could be a $40-50 stock. What is it? It's $8 right now. US, that's Logic. Also, they're involved in fintech in Indonesia, which is a massive market. E-commerce, mobile e-com in Southeast Asia. If you look at SEA, like this is like one of the hottest stocks right now. I mean, that's been a monster stock, and we could pull it up later. But this thing is trading at just a couple times revenues, whereas the peer group again is 15, 20x revenues. And when this thing gets going, it's going to be a monster potential. Let me just put up that banner again with the disclaimer. I don't want. Okay, so yeah, this thing could be a massive winner. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. Okay, here, check this out. So the weekly chart, and this thing was at one point like a $40-50 stock. I think they did a reverse. So once it breaks out of this kind of this triangle right here, this pennant, whatever you want to call it, it could run $20-25 very quickly. It's a very thin float. There's not a lot of shares outstanding, so this could really blow up. Let's go to what do we got here? Banners. By the way, anybody watching, we're in Discord. We're in Discord. We got Hammy on Discord. We got Paul on Discord. So join us on Discord. Let's see, Cloud, UGE. I don't know UGE. Douglas, thank you. Best time to get in peak. I don't know what that. Oh, you're saying this is the time to get in peak.
Oh, I agree, 100%.
No.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Hammy, why do you say now is the time to get in peak? I mean, why now?
I just think we saw it hit consolidation, and it didn't really, it tested the bottom a few times last week, even with amazing news. So I think we definitely have some things coming up. But if they're releasing that interview on Sunday night, there's got to be. I just feel like this week could have some more news along with it. Like so, just watch it, see what it does Monday. Again, like you said, these aren't buy and sell advices, and we're trying to pick things for the long term. But 10 months from now, we want a 10 bagger. So that's kind of what we're looking to do here. Not like the difference between short term and long term. I mean, you never know what this stock's going to do week to week or day to day. But over the period of 5 months, it's looking very good.
Yeah, no, it's funny. It's a lot of times. Look, I think last week, I saw somebody leaving comments like, "Oh, these guys, all their stocks are down. This is bad." I mean, any of these stocks can drop day to day. And by the way, we're not giving advice. We're no buy sell recommendations here. These stocks are very risky. We're wrong 120% of the time. You can lose all your money. Okay, that said, these are kind of long term. When I say long term, like a couple months plays, 6 months maybe, not 5 years. I mean, sure, there's going to be. Look, I think. Look again. My philosophy is maybe different than a lot of people. Like I believe, we want to get a fast win. 10x in 10 months, maybe 12 months, 5x, whatever the number is. We want to get that big home run. Go into the next deal, parlay that money, keep it moving. However, there's going to be probably 1 out of 20, 1 out of 25 stocks that we're going to have in the next year or so. I think one of those 1 out of 20 is going to be 100 bagger. I mean, there's no question. Just because the probability statistics, there's going to be that 100 bagger. We don't know which one it is. It's probably going to be the one we least expect. And I think usually it's going to be these kind of blue sky deals are usually like resource plays. So And we're going to have some of those.
That's the big.
ICANN. Hang on, we got somebody saying ICANN. Yeah, ICANN. Let's pull up the ICANN chart. Let's pull up the ICANN chart. Okay, so ICANN is looking pretty good here. We got some decent action here. So I think ICANN, it kind of needs to break out of this little range over here. What is this? What do you call this? The head and shoulders bottom? Is that what you guys would call this? Right over here. This thing could be, I don't know, $130, $140 in a couple months once it starts moving. These guys do have some pretty solid fundamentals, and we're starting to see that the cannabis sector it's coming back to life.
Yeah, I agree. I think the picture is going to be kind of painted a little bit here when they start releasing revenues for Q3. And once they get into their new facility and start rolling two of their machines, it's, they can't keep up the demand already. So once they get that second machine going and increase shifts, I think the scale it's going to be good. So I really like ICANN moving forward. And I think we'll learn a lot come Q3 revenues once those are released to kind of see, what trajectory they're kind of going on. But I definitely think catalyst-wise, it's moving into that new warehouse and getting that second machine going for sure.
Yeah, basically, Paul?
You got to look forward. I mean, you got to ask yourself, where do you see that sector in 8, 9, 12 months? And again, it's legalizing everywhere, right? So are they going to go down or go up? Sometimes it seems like it's too logical, but it's not. There's you see it, man. It's people go crazy on news, and the news is in front of you like 9 months ahead of time, right? So there's a perfect example.
Yeah, so basically with the election, you had a bunch of states in the U.S. legalize. They got recreational cannabis, and these guys are I think their angle, which they're not really talking about it too much, because they want to kind of, I guess, downplay this. It's these machines that roll the joints, and which essentially the idea is that I would think, hey, any machine, but no, apparently depending on the strain, you got to have so their thing is able to create that consistent quality joint, which is going to be perfect every time, which is very important for all these guys that are. If you look at their earnings calls, all the big companies right now, their big thing is they're trying to develop brands, and when you're talking about brands, you need to have that consistent quality, and so this technology is going to do that. So maybe they'll kind of do contract-based manufacturing. There could be some interesting things happening. Maybe somebody will buy them out, in 6 months, 9 months. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? Well, I mean, you're talking about being able to roll 1,000 pre-rolls an hour with a margin over 40%. And like most of these cannabis companies are, there's not very many that are making money. When you look at, some of the bigger ones, they are. But I mean, with that kind of margin, it's pretty good. So
what I like about Brandon, the CEO of ICANN, it's very. If you've seen his last couple of live streams, the presentations, he's constantly talking about the margins. What is it called? I have a kind of superior gross margin profile. We're looking to do a superior. So he's very, very focused on, developing, big margins, creating profitability. So this is kind of cannabis 2.0. These guys now are, they're going to be building profitable companies. And I think that's where there's going to be a lot of excitement, in the next probably 6 months. Once people see these guys start making money, you can have a whole new,
Well, and even licensing out their tech to other states to be able to do pre-rolls for, Nevada and then, eventually wherever they decide to go. I mean, it's like nobody else can do this. And the cost to produce manually is far too high, and the quality is not nearly the same as these machines are producing. So,
hold on. So we talked Peak, Logic, Doc. Oh, did we talk about? Yeah, we covered cloud. We just did ICANN. What else do we have here? Hold on. Okay, any thoughts on CloudMD earnings? I have no insight. You guys have opinions on their earnings?
I'm not sure. I think, I mean, they're going to show growth year over year. I think we were expecting, I believe it was around 4 million. Somebody in the chat probably knows better. But I think Q4 for them is kind of where we really see the scale coming in, because most of the deals that they closed were right around like the end of Q3, beginning of Q4. So we'll see a lot of those revenues kick in for Q4, and then once they start landing those enterprise clients, it's going to be really nice.
I got okay, so I got the fans. I got the fans. I got the fans chart right here. Why do I have fans? Because I think that's the play of the week. Again, this is not advice. Let me just put up this banner, the not recommendation. This is not nothing from the company. Again, anything we're talking about right here is purely, my opinion, the opinion of the guest. Nothing. This is not official company stuff. We're not talking about any kind of official corporate news announcements, any of that. Purely opinion. And okay, so back to fans. I think fans is going to be the big kind of winner this week. Fans CBD. I think fans. I mean, this is like a monster. I mean, to me, this thing looks like it's ready for a monster move. Look at these massive kind of price swings intraday on volume. I mean,
well, I think we talked about it last Sunday. It was 22 cents, and that's when we made the call that it was going to kind of take off, and it did. So that's nice. So we'll see what happens, I guess, this week.
It was 22. It was 22 cents, right? Oh, look at this. Yeah, it was when it was right here.
Yeah, opening Monday is 22 cents.
Okay, it was right here, and then what happened? Then it popped and come back. Yeah, this stock has kind of shaken out a lot of people. Like I know guys who have some pretty big positions, and they got in right around. I think they were coming into it around September, October, and they've been hanging on. I mean, this stock has shaken out a lot of people in the last probably few weeks when it kind of did that drop. And I gotta say also, a lot of our biggest winners were stocks that kind of started off slow, and they may even have dropped a little bit, and then they just took off. So this could be one of those, because nobody's talking about fans. I mean, this is the one that's completely right now off the radar.
But the shakeout's healthy sometimes, right? We always say that, right? You want to shake out the it's unfortunate with the weak hands, right? But again, looking at the fundamentals, the margins are insane. I mean, the growth potential, this thing's a beast, man. So
we got yeah. Hey, I'm again. When it comes to logic, I think this logic could be a easily like a $40 stock once it starts moving. So 5x from here. Again, purely my opinion. Let's see. Okay, Mr. Dotto got in Monday. Hemi.
Yeah. I think a lot of people got in Monday after we talked about it Sunday because the volume.
Yeah, look at this. Yeah, wow, crazy. It doesn't take a lot of volume. I mean, what is it? What's the volume? The volume is 500,000 shares. It's 100 grand. Not a lot. Doesn't take a lot.
And they got the two games are almost done, like almost ready to be released. So that the revenue from those will start to kick in, and they have partnerships signed with an aggregator to get into 120 plus of these games. So
and the idea is what? The idea basically is each game could potentially make, let's call it 500 grand per casino. So if you have 100 casinos, in theory, that's 50 million a month, but 500 grand a month. So in theory, it could be 50 million a month per game. I mean, it's not going to be that big. It's probably going to be 10% of that, whatever. So listen, they don't really need to do that much to get this thing moving.
No, and he was talking about like in 2021 focusing primarily on their like B2B and getting like 5, 10, or 25 clients even. And once they start rolling that out, I mean that it's crazy scale.
Yeah, so these are companies that are at inflection points. So that's the thing. We're kind of, we are looking for companies which are, again, with this kind of 10-bagger strategy, next super stock. We're looking for those stocks which are right at that inflection point where their revenues are starting to scale. And this is right exactly where fans is right now. Once they start coming out with these announcements, I think people are going to wake up. and that's where we could see some real action. My Tunnel Vision, hey, thank you for tuning in. We don't do the big stocks. We only do micro caps, penny stocks. This is like, we're just, okay. Hey, Visby, I like Visby. We're going to be talking more about Visby probably next week. So they got some interesting things happening, and you should check out the live stream, the videos that are up that we did. It's pretty interesting stuff. So yeah, so esports is going to be, I don't know, you guys. Hey, Paul, do you bet on esports? No, do you bet on or just regular sports?
Just, I mean, regular stuff now. But listen, when if you look back at when sports was shut down, I think the esports was going crazy, and people love it, man. I think it went up like 1,000%, something like that. The statistics were off the charts. And it's actually holding steady, and they say it's going to grow 10, 20, 30 fold from here in the next 3-4 years. So,
I mean,
definitely there.
Prior to COVID, they were filling stadiums.
Yeah. Oh, it's huge, and I mean, it's I think there's more people watching esports than regular sports. I mean, it's. And we talked about this before, like, when on some of the live streams with Scott and Darius, is like, what's interesting thing is, and this is kind of what's moving the esports is, the new generation, like, I mean, people who are betting is, I mean, the millennials are basically taking over, the demographic. And, look, well, you guys are, I don't know, you guys are relatively not that old. So, but look, everybody they want to participate, right? Nobody wants to like hang out. So with esports, it's much more of a participating type of sport. Everybody can relate to it. People play video games. So it's it's something they can relate to better than, I don't know, baseball and the Expos. so it's going to be, yes, the esports is exploding. And the guy from DraftKings on the last earnings call, DraftKings, what's his name? The CEO of DraftKings basically said that he expects esports to be maybe their biggest thing, if I get that quote right, but he expects it to be huge. Yeah, so esports, yeah, so definitely it's yeah, arena type pro game. Yeah, it's incredible.
Well, then you just add into that, like now with regular sports, you can bet as the game's going. I mean, that's huge for esports too. Like you can bet, it's just like the live ongoing betting. Like it's addictive, right? Even watching the Masters, you can just, is this guy going to sink this putt? And you just bet a bunch of money or whatever. It's insane.
What do they call it? In-stream betting? Is that what's the, you bet as in the live game different various propositions?
Yeah, live betting. But the key again is the legalization, man. It's the more we go on, the more you're gonna see. And again, we know it's coming, and it's people go crazy once. You got to get in before the news, right? Before it's announced, and we know it's coming. We know everyone's legalizing, so that's what we preach, right?
Yes,
that's what we.
Yeah, the whole idea is we're looking for basically, look, what we really want with all these kind of with the next super stocks and everything is really we want to get in position right before these things take off, right before, we want to be in the water when that wave comes in. We want to ride that massive wave. We don't want to be running after. We don't want to be sitting on the sand, seeing that wave out there and then trying to run into the water. We want to, be in there to ride it. These big sectors. Yeah. So this again, esports. So again, we're involved. All the stuff that we're talking about, it's riding big themes. Whether it's sports sports betting, esports. You got the telemedicine space. We got what else? The e-com, fintech space in China. By the way, so Logic is it's Indonesia. Indonesia is huge, and one thing we should probably call with Peak is that with that the Ant deal that got canceled, because there's some the stuff in China, it's very political, and the guy from Alibaba, he was, he got a little bit cocky, I guess, and he was like, insulting, all the banks in China, and those guys got irritated, and who's the guy, Xi Jinping, the guy who runs China, he basically shut it down. So what's good is that the Peak is kind of they're flying below the radar. They're not making waves. These guys, and what they're doing is it's perfect. It fits perfectly because essentially they're helping these other banks get these loans. So they're, from a political standpoint, I mean, they're in a very good spot.
Well, I mean, they even hired Mr. Wu from the People's Bank of China to help push along their digital currency side of things. So I mean, they have buy-in from people that were in positions of fairly substantial power within the Chinese area of fintech and whatnot. And they even had that article come out comparing Peak versus and how they differ and why Peak is, I guess you could call them superior in a sense with their tech and how it promotes the economies in these cities that they're in.
Hang on a second. Let's go to. So Logic. Somebody was asking about Logic. LGIQ is the ticker. So LGIQ. We get the chart right there. I think this Logic could break out any minute. I mean, they're going to be actually getting a listing in Canada, so I think they're going to be at that NEO exchange at some point soon.
Yeah, I'd like to invest in this, but as the TFSA king, I cannot invest in OTC.
Yeah, this is great. This is great. Okay, yeah. Another leap, a great leap forward, as Mao Zedong said. Yeah, we're gonna have a great leap forward in these stocks. Okay, on that note, I think we've covered everything, right? So, guys, anything else? Any final thoughts before we wrap up?
No, I'd just like to thank everyone in the Discord group. I think it's gone really well. We're here to build a community to educate and make more solid investors, and I think it's going well. And I really appreciate Jack having me on, and I really appreciate it. And the Wall Street Reporter Discord's just getting started, and I think it's going to be a really nice place for everyone to kind of talk about stocks and the stocks that we're in, and just keep everybody educated and learning more and more every day.
And we also, by the way, so you should also say, like, because you have your own kind of Discord channels, which are specific. It's for Peak. You have multiple Discord channel. Are these servers or channels? What exactly? They're channels, right?
I guess they're servers technically. Yeah. They're boards basically. But yeah, we have several. We have about 6 different boards for each stock. So if anybody wants those, you can just send me a message on Discord or try and find it somewhere. We broadcast it on Twitter once in a while. So
yeah, that's great. Yeah, definitely. So and we have like a different thing. So like the Wall Street Reporter one, it's a little different than the one that you have, which goes, I think, much more granular. They're just different. They're different. So you'll get different information on both. So you can check out the Wall Street Reporter, check out the Hammy's Discord. It's all good stuff. We got Paul's picks. Paul, are you on Discord yet? What's going on with you, man?
I'm in all the Discords. I'm not a tech guy. I'm not very good at the tech stuff, but Hammy's the man at that. He's good, but of course, and again, like Hammy said, it's a really we call it the family, man. We really it comes to a point where it's not only about the investment; it's really about the camaraderie. You build friendships, and we don't just chat stocks all day. Obviously, when the stock's taking a dump, as they say, everyone's a little bit down. But it's fun, man. You guys should join in and come aboard. It's the key is investing in these sectors, whether it's AR, reality, fintech, MJ space, the medical. You got the great the gambling. Can't forget the gambling. It's we have great sectors. They're all diversified and the family, man. I call it the family, right? Hammy knows that.
Where's a Caribbean kid? I haven't seen this guy on the live streams in a long time. I think it was on Entar back way. So good to see the Caribbean kid back. He's got the charts over there. So Maybe that's why he joined in, because we're talking charts. Okay, I think that's it. All right, guys, thank you. Hammy, Paul's picks. Paul, I need you to say Paul's picks before we leave.
Okay. What do you want? 1, 2, 3, 2, 1. Paul's picks 2020. What do I do in 2021?
You got to change it. That's the thing. You got to change that name. So, okay, guys. Okay, thank you everybody for joining us on the live stream again. Yeah, keep an eye on these stocks. Do your research. Then decide for yourself if this is going to be the next 10 bagger. And next time we're going to be talking more about the fast lane strategy, turning 10K into 1 million, 18 months. Who wants to take that challenge? How many people in the audience want to take the challenge? Oh, we got the guy from France. Look at this. We got a bonsoir. Hey, Paul, parlez-vous français?
Ah oui. Ça va?
Très bien. See, hang on a second. We got, how do you say 10 bag or 10 bagger? Deuxième.
This fois.
10 bagger stock. How do you say it?
This fois.
Ah, le prochain 10 bagger. Oui.
Le prochain 10 bag.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, guys. So next week we're going to be talking more about the 10K to 1 million through 2 trades, 2 10 baggers in a row, and yeah, definitely. I think on the Discord we're going to have to open up a little like a chat or something, Hammy, where people who want to get in on this. We'll figure out how to do this. I'm kind of by ear,
sure.
But it's kind of like a fun thing. I mean, I think it's something where could be very interesting. See if anybody is able to do it, and then even more is somebody who's going to have a three-peat going from 10x to 100K, 100K to 1 million, and then from 1 million to 10 million, 3 10 baggers in a row. That would be interesting. That would be like the stuff of legends. So on that said, everybody, thank you again for joining us. We'll see you on the next live stream.
Listen, thank you guys. Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Hammy, and thanks everybody, man. It's and we gotta have a beer. I can't wait till we can have a beer together.